Right, so we're here at Nordic Fintech Week, second day. The day is still booming with insights, with content, with thought leadership. And I'm delighted to be here with Paul Rowett, coming us all the way from South Africa.
All the way from South Africa.
It's great to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Toco is an initiative to try and change the world. The way the world views carbon emissions at the moment is a negative externality of economic growth. It's the biggest problem that we face as humans. Climate change is going to change the way the world operates. We believe that harnessing the value of the way we transact is key to drive fundamental investment to decarbonize our world. At the moment, there is no incentive to decarbonize, and there is no incentive to remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. There is no incentive because carbon dioxide doesn't have a use. It's not useful to humans, so you don't demand it. We are looking for a big sense of demand, a source of demand, and for that we need a big utility. We are using carbon dioxide to be the representative value for a currency that you can use to buy your coffee and your lunch, get your haircut, buy your clothes, book your airline tickets.
Hold on. You're using carbon to be the main utility that we use to purchase stuff?
Correct.
Write that down for me.
So think about the gold standard. The gold standard had a big hole in the ground that the central bank owned, that it was filled with gold. And that was the representative value of the currency in circulation. If there was more currency demanded by people, the central bank would buy more gold because you would need to keep that value in relation. Replace gold with carbon dioxide that has been removed from the atmosphere in the form of carbon credits. They have value. They are the assets that we use to back the money supply in circulation.
But wasn't the gold standard removed from back in the 40s from as a reserve mechanism?
In 1971, the US went off the gold standard.
71, okay.
Why? Because the demand for money supply exceeded the ability to store gold.
Hey, right.
And then he went on to fiat currency. Fiat currency is a debt-backed currency.
Yes.
The world is now $280 trillion in debt. It tells you that humans' demand for money is enormous. We need, as people on this planet, we need better solutions to fix climate change. At the moment, we are told by governments that it's our carbon footprint to manage, but we live in a system that is designed around emissions. What are we able to actually do? Yes, we can eat raw meat, we can stop flying, but we also have to live. So it's not our problem. We need to evolve the system. And we believe that evolving capitalism, because capitalism is not inherently bad. As humans, we're in the best place we've ever been.
Yeah.
We're healthy, we can read, there's lack of poverty, etc. But we need to fix this negative externality. We need to price in emissions. We need to build a carbon economy that places value on the planet.
Right.
Not on debts.
All right, so this is from a philosophical perspective, this is one of the most interesting concepts I've come across in quite some time. That's really remarkable. Now, tell me about the mechanics of it. What are you doing to enable this to happen?
Great. So I'll use the example because I understand where you're coming from. It's an ambitious plan, and it's a big plan. You're thinking big here. The problem is massive. The solution has to be massive. So we launched a pilot project, a proof of concept in Stellenbosch, South Africa. We chose Stellenbosch because we are South African. The business is registered in Switzerland, but we chose South Africa. And at the moment, as I speak to you now, there are 7,500 people who are transacting on a daily basis, roughly about 200 transactions a day, with 170 different merchants buying coffee and lunch, going about their daily business. But that transactional activity drives demand for carbon reduction. We use a blockchain payment method. It's purpose-built, it's compliant, full regulation, so KYC and AML protocols on that payment system. You link in with the traditional banking sector, so we are not some cryptocurrency out in the ether somewhere. Right. We're a transactional currency with utility. So merchants accept the currency in exchange for goods and services. They either hold that currency was Toco's ton of carbon offset on their balance sheets.
Yeah.
As a sign of their climate commitment, they're essentially holding carbon on their balance sheet. They can sell back into fiat, or they can buy more, or they can retire. They can retire those assets and say, my carbon footprint was 100 tons, and I'm retiring 100 Tocos in relation to that.
Right. Okay, so I can not hear and pretend to understand everything you're saying. I think this requires quite a lot of getting familiar with the concept. This is, as you say, it's a big idea.
Yes.
And we love big ideas. Now, help me understand. South Africa, we're here in Denmark. Why the Nordics?
Because we don't like sun. No, I'm joking. No, we expanding. So Stellenbosch was always a proof of concept. You know, you can fail a lot, you can try things, and we've reached that point. We've learned a hell of a lot, but now we need to expand into Europe. The Nordics is an obvious test location, so we are here, and we're also going to Amsterdam to see which location we should start in and expand from. Obviously, the Nordics have a very intentional approach to sustainability. Mm-hmm. The first thing I did when I got to Copenhagen is cycle out to Copenhagen, and I'm simply blown away by the amount that people in the Nordics want to do to be sustainable. Yeah. We've done focus groups. We were listening to focus groups yesterday, and it is amazing how much people think about it and how intentional they are. And the message is clear: humans need better solutions to change the fundamentals of what climate change has created.
All right, well, just to close very quickly. We saw the title of your presentation and we were intrigued.
Yes.
Capitalism 3.0. Did we skip something? What's capitalism 2.0 and how is capitalism 3.0 differently?
Yeah,
different.
So it's a great question. So we see our view is capitalism 1.0 was the gold standard. Commodity-backed currencies, growing economies. When those economies outstripped the supply of gold, our capitalism took another turn and debt became the thing that backed money and circulation. And now we're in fiat currencies where governments control money supply. And we are all seeing, we're living through the dangers of that. People are frustrated at government's decisions with capitalism 2.0. And they are affecting my life directly by printing money. People are starting to understand that interest rates are not something I just pay the bank. Once they understand that as a direct correlation of governments choosing to print more money, they will be paying for it in future. People are like, I don't know if that's the right thing to be doing. So we see capitalism 3.0 as harnessing that same system. That system's not going to change, but changing the way we value the thing that with money, the means with which we exchange value. If we include nature in that, and in fact base it on nature's fundamental ability to extract carbon, which is something that we so need, we can start to change the world.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you see it here. Big ideas from Nordic Fintech Week. Paul, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for
having you here.
It's a pleasure. Thanks so much. Thanks.